Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are jumping right into a massive fantasy battle, breaking down every critical moment. We're talking a heavily armored boss, a super risky strategy, and, oh yeah, a last-minute twist that just changes the entire game.
So, let's set the scene. The party is trying to move forward, and their path is blocked by this absolute unit of a demon gatekeeper. I mean, look at him. He's decked out in this perfect armor, he's got a giant club. This guy's basically a walking fortress designed to stop anyone, and I mean anyone, dead in their tracks.
Now, you'd think the plan would be a full frontal assault with all their best knights, right? Wrong. The commander makes this really interesting and frankly, super risky call. He's going to rely entirely on his sub-party, the Penal Squad. These guys are the definition of high risk, high reward. So let's get into why this was such a wild gamble.
Okay, so this first part is all about the plan. We're going to look at who's involved, what special tricks they have up their sleeve, and how this strategy, which looks kind of reckless on the surface, might actually be a stroke of genius.
And this right here, this sums up the entire strategy. It all comes down to one man, Kuai Lan, the former bandit king. He is a classic glass cannon. His fighting skills? They're completely off the charts. But his glass body trait means he's incredibly fragile. If he takes even one direct hit, he's out. Done.
And you can just feel the pressure mounting. Through the commander's own thoughts, we see this isn't just some random monster fight. No, this is a massive test for his forces. It's his chance to prove what his sub-party is really made of. Failure is just not an option.
All right, the stage is set. The stakes couldn't be higher. So let's break down exactly how Kulan, our lead fighter, is going to pull this off. This is where pure skill and years of experience are about to put on a show.
So what's his opening move? It's brilliant. He uses a skill called Leaf Crush. And the key to this whole thing is that it completely bypasses the boss's #1 defense, that thick, heavy armor. It deals damage directly. It's like having the perfect key for this very specific, very tough lock. And this timeline really shows us why Kulan is the perfect man for this job. For decades, he was a bandit king, which means he spent his life fighting guys in armor who fight like humans. So even though this is a demon, its moves feel familiar to him. Throw in that last-minute power-up from the commander, and you've got a guy who is tailor-made for this exact fight.
And you can just see his confidence skyrocket. He realizes that for all its raw power, the demon fights like a big, strong amateur. It's predictable. To a master fighter like Kulian, this isn't some terrifying monster. It's a puzzle he has already solved 1,000 times before.
But come on, you know a boss is never going to go down that easy. The fight is about to hit its turning point. The gatekeeper starts getting desperate, and Quillen knows it's time to play his trump card.
And here we go. Phase 2. The boss sheds its armor and goes into a full-on frenzy. Its attack power and speed go way up. But, and this is the crucial part the party was waiting for, its defense absolutely plummets. It's now way more dangerous, but also way more vulnerable.
The team's timing here is just flawless. They wait for that frenzy to burn out, knowing the boss will be gassed. The second that happens, the rest of the penal squad rushes in to stagger it, creating the perfect window for Kulan to land a nasty 1-2 combo, a quick strike to a vital point, followed by a massive uppercut to the chin. And this is the exact moment they won the fight. Kulan's special gauntlet, the Lucky Strike, hits the jackpot. The numbers 333 flash up, which means the damage from his final uppercut is amplified by a ridiculous amount. It was a mix of perfect skill, perfect timing, and one heck of a lucky punch.
The demon is actually trying to mumble something about protocol, but Kulan's had enough. He cuts it off with one last brutal blow to the jaw, silencing the gatekeeper for good. And just like that, the high-risk gamble pays off.
All right, the fight is over, victory is theirs, but the story doesn't end there. Defeating the boss is one thing, but what you get after the fight is sometimes just as important. Let's talk about the spoils of war.
So the celebration starts immediately, and so does the friendly rivalry. Kulai and the Penal Squad start bragging, saying it won't be long before they're better than the main party. And well, the two elite knights, Lucas and Evangeline, do not take that well. It leads to this really tense but pretty funny little standoff.
Now, here's a really crucial point about this victory. It isn't permanent. In this world, dungeons actually reset, so the gatekeeper and all its buddies, they'll be back.
But that's actually a good thing. It means the party has just secured an amazing new spot to farm for experience and resources over and over again.
And speaking of resources, the loot they find is incredible. They get a bunch of useful consumables, which is great, but then they find this, the second fragment of the Great Commander's flag. Okay, this is a huge deal. This isn't just some random drop. It's a piece of the Commander's unique signature equipment. Finding the second piece is a massive step towards completing this incredibly powerful artifact. This mission just paid off big time for the long game. So they're wrapping up, celebrating their victory, checking out their sweet new loot. Everyone's feeling great. And then, an unexpected warning completely shatters the mood, shifting it from triumph to pure terror. Suddenly, this insistent, high-pitched beeping cuts through the silence, and it's one of those sounds that can only mean one thing. Something has gone very, very wrong.
And then a giant red warning window confirms their absolute worst fears. It's the boss detection radar. This isn't your standard radar, though. This thing is set to only trigger for the absolute most dangerous threats out there. We're talking commander-level bosses, and it is screaming.
The thing that's coming isn't just another monster. It's identified as the true boss of this whole area, a massive, silver-furred werewolf, a lycanthrope king named Lunared. Turns out, the gatekeeper they just fought so hard to beat, he was just the opening act.
And our explainer today ends on this absolutely chilling line, spoken by the new boss himself. He's looking straight at the commander, and he makes it clear this was no random encounter. This was a hunt, and the commander was the prey all along. So what happens next? Well, that's a story for another time.